Welcome to Mindful Moments. Nourish your mind on the go. This audio uses AI narration to present our original book analysis. All right, get ready for a deep dive into The Friend Zone by Abby Jimenez.
All right.
We've got a stack of excerpts from the early chapters, and it looks like we're in for a roller coaster.
Wow.
What jumped out at you from these pages?
Kristen, she's complicated, right? You've got this woman running a dog stairs business, cracking jokes, wearing these hilarious T-shirts. It's all a defense mechanism. But underneath, there's vulnerability, especially when it comes to her engagement to Tyler.
Yeah, like that scene where she spills coffee all over herself and ends up wearing a stranger's shirt. I mean, her inner monologue is priceless. Her thoughts about her dry spell and needing to get laid, it's funny, but it hints at a deeper longing.
Oh, yeah. It's refreshing to see a female character so open about her desires. But this meet cute gone wrong, with the parking lot guy, as she calls him, throws a wrench into things. She's engaged to Tyler, this Marine deployed overseas. And yet, she's instantly attracted to this other man.
Right, and that man turns out to be Josh, the handsome jerk she meets at the fire station. Like a classic romantic comedy setup. But their connection, it isn't just physical. Their personalities clash and complement each other. It feels both familiar and exciting.
Jimenez does such a good job building that chemistry through witty banter. Remember the lasagna incident when she finds Josh's finger in the food and texts Sloane about it? It's hilarious. That shared sense of humor becomes this instant bond. It's almost like they're speaking their own language.
You're right. That shared language sets the stage for a lot of tension. As they spend more time together, he builds her those dog stairs, and the sparks fly. But then there's Tyler, who's about to return from deployment. And Kristen's feelings are all over the place. She loves Tyler, but she's not exactly thrilled about him moving in. Is this where we see the cracks?
Yes, I think so. This is where Jimenez delves into the internal conflict. Kristen loves Tyler, but she's undeniably drawn to Josh. The novel doesn't shy away from the messy reality of relationships. We're not always sure what we want, and sometimes our heart pulls us in unexpected directions. It makes you wonder, is Kristen settling for comfort with Tyler? Or is her hesitation about Josh something deeper? What do you think?
That's a great question. The way Jimenez writes about Kristen's inner turmoil, it's so relatable. It's like she's voicing those doubts we all have. Am I with the right person? Is there something more out there? What does it mean to truly be happy? We see Kristen grapple with these questions, and she navigates this love triangle.
The love triangle is definitely front and center, but I think there's a bigger story unfolding here. Kristen's fear of commitment, her secrets, her upcoming hysterectomy. These are all heavy issues that Jimenez weaves into the narrative.
The hysterectomy is a huge turning point. It adds another layer of complexity. To Kristen's emotional journey, it makes you think about how much we're willing to share with someone we love, especially when we're afraid of being judged or rejected.
Absolutely. And it makes you question, how much of ourselves do we hide to protect our hearts? And is it possible to truly love someone without being fully open and honest?
It's a question that lingers throughout the story, as Kristen tries to figure out what she truly wants and who she can trust with her deepest fears.
Exactly. It's a journey of self-discovery and vulnerability, and it's one that I think will resonate with a lot of readers.
I agree. Jimenez has a way of capturing the complexities of relationships in a way that feels both honest and relatable.
And she does it with wit and humor, which makes even the tough moments a little bit easier to swallow.
You're right. The humor is definitely a highlight. It provides a nice balance to the heavier themes.
It keeps things light, even when the stakes are high.
So we've got this complex character wrestling with her past, facing a major life decision, and caught in a love triangle. Where do we go from here?
Well, that's where things get really interesting. Because just when you think you have Kristen figured out, Jimenez throws in a twist. That changes everything.
A twist.
Oh, yeah. And it's a doozy.
Okay, now you've got me hooked. We'll have to dive into that in the next part of our deep dive.
I can't wait.
But for now, let's leave our listeners with this thought. How much of ourselves are we willing to share in order to find true love and connection?
That's a great question to ponder.
And we'll pick up right where we left off in part 2 of our deep dive into the friend zone. Until then, keep those minds mindful.
See you soon.
So we left off with Kristen struggling with this huge secret, this fear of telling Josh about the hysterectomy. And then there's that scene at the karaoke bar.
That scene is a turning point for sure. Kristen sees Tyler with another woman. It's like everything she thought she knew about their relationship just crumbles.
She breaks up with him right then and there. And it's not long after that she ends up sleeping with Josh. Was that impulsive? Or was it something more?
I think it's a bit of both. She's going through so much emotionally, but there's also this undeniable pull towards Josh. It's been building this whole time.
So the chemistry is definitely there. But even after they sleep together, Kristen keeps pushing him away.
Right. She's terrified of being vulnerable, especially with this secret hanging over her head.
The hysterectomy.
Exactly. She's convinced that if he finds out, he'll reject her. Her past experiences haven't exactly helped.
Especially with her mother.
Oh, yeah. Her mother's criticism has really shaped her self-worth.
It's heartbreaking to see her sabotage a potentially great relationship.
Mm.
And then to make matters worse, there's the accident.
Oh, gosh, that accident just throws everything into chaos.
Josh being a firefighter, he's called to the scene. And it turns out the victim is...
Brandon, Sloane's fiancé.
It's just devastating for everyone, especially for Sloane.
Of course. And Josh is just incredible through it all. He steps up as a caregiver for Brandon, and he's there for Sloane every step of the way.
It's amazing to see his strength and compassion, but you can tell it's taking a toll on him.
Absolutely. He's carrying a lot of weight on his shoulders.
And Kristen, even though she's pushed Josh away, you can see how affected she is by everything.
Oh, yeah. She cares about him deeply, but she just can't seem to let her guard down.
It's like she's stuck in this cycle of self-sabotage.
Until Sloane intervenes.
That scene where Sloane confronts Kristen, it's intense.
Sloane doesn't hold back. She calls Kristen out on her behavior and forces her to see the truth.
She's like, wake up, you're pushing away the best thing that's ever happened to you.
Exactly. And she points out how Kristen's mom's words have been poisoning her sense of self-worth.
It's a powerful moment because it's like Kristen finally starts to understand how her past has been dictating her present.
And that realization paves the way for that incredible scene where Kristen sends Josh that one-word text.
Okay.
Yes, that one word carries so much weight.
It's like a surrender, a willingness to finally let go of her fears.
And open herself up to love.
But of course, Jimenez throws in another twist.
The pregnancy.
Talk about a curveball.
It's a game changer for sure.
But it's more than just about becoming a mother. It's about Kristen finally believing that she deserves happiness.
Right. That she's worthy of love, regardless of her circumstances.
And Josh's reaction when she tells him, it's just perfect.
He's over the moon, not just about the baby, but about the fact that Kristen is finally letting him in.
It's a beautiful moment. And it speaks to the power of vulnerability and trust.
Absolutely. When we allow ourselves to be vulnerable, we open ourselves up to the possibility of profound connection.
And that's what the friend zone is all about. It's about finding love, even when we feel broken and unworthy.
And it's about the transformative power of forgiveness, both of ourselves and others.
It's a beautiful message, and one that I think will resonate with a lot of people.
I agree. Jimenez has a way of writing characters that feel real and relatable, even when they're making messy and complicated choices.
And she does it with such humor and heart.
It's a winning combination, for sure.
Okay, so we left off with this huge step forward, and the pregnancy. But it doesn't sound like it's all smooth sailing from here.
No, it's definitely not all sunshine and roses. They still have a lot to figure out.
So what happens?
Well, for starters, Kristen's still dealing with the emotional fallout of the breakup with Tyler, and the hysterectomy is still looming.
Right.
And Josh, he's got a lot on his plate, too, with Brandon's recovery and everything.
So he's trying to support both Kristen and Sloane.
Exactly. He's being pulled in a lot of different directions.
But he doesn't give up on Kristen.
Not at all. He's so patient with her. He keeps texting her every day, even when she doesn't respond.
It's like he knows she needs time.
He does. He sees right through her walls.
And then there's that scene at his apartment where she has the hypoglycemic episode.
Oh, yeah. That scene is so powerful.
The way he takes care of her.
He makes her a Burger King meal, even though he knows she hates it.
It's such a small gesture, but it means so much.
Well, it shows how much he cares and how well he understands her.
And I think that's the turning point for Kristen. She finally starts to let her guard down and admit that she needs him.
It's beautiful to see them finally connect on that level.
And then, of course, there's the pregnancy.
The ultimate curveball.
But it's more than just a plot twist. It's a symbol of hope and new beginnings.
Absolutely. It represents a fresh start for both of them.
And I love how Josh reacts to the news.
He's ecstatic.
Not just about becoming a father, but about the fact that Kristen is finally letting herself be happy.
It's like all her fears and insecurities just melt away.
And let's not forget the incredible support system they have. Sloane is amazing.
She's a true friend.
And Josh's family is so welcoming.
They even offer to be surrogates.
It's a reminder that family isn't always about blood.
It's about the people who love and support you unconditionally.
The Friend Zone is such a heartwarming story. It's funny and emotional and ultimately uplifting.
It's a reminder that we all deserve love and happiness.
Regardless of our past or our perceived flaws.
And that sometimes the best things in life come when we least expect them.
So if you're looking for a book that will make you laugh and cry and leave you feeling hopeful and inspired, check out The Friend Zone by Abby Jimenez. You can find a link to purchase the book in the show notes. And don't forget to subscribe to Mindful Moments. Nourish your mind on the go for more deep dives into captivating books. Until next time, keep those minds mindful.